Hey everybody, Jawsomesauce is back. Didn't I see you all a couple hours ago? Well, that was Godzilla. This is a different one, different licensing IP. It's Sega Sonic the Hedgehog on the arcade. And no, your ears are not broken. There is no sound at the beginning of this game. You know how most arcades have a tracked mode where they get you to come on over and spend some quarters, like the Ninja Turtles with the theme song, or Simpsons with a bunch of Homer jokes and stuff. But Sega Sonic the Hedgehog from Japan doesn't have that. So again, I'm Jawsomesauce, casual dad speedrunner. Recently I was tasked with learning this game for an event called Speedrun, which is where you get a random speedrun, and I was given an arcade game that's played on MAME emulator with keyboard, and I said, you know what, none of that keyboard stuff, I'm going to do the real deal. So I have a full custom setup arcade cabinet with, it's an arcade 1-up shell, Street Fighter shell, with a Dell from like the late 90s, early 2000s era desktop tower in the back with a bigger screen and a custom control top with a trackball and everything. I put in my own buttons. I did basically the whole shebang so that I could play arcade games at home. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to learn that on the arcade with the trackball the way it was meant to be played. So that's what's up. You see here my control panel. You can see the green ball. This is a trackball game. Comes only in Japan. There's a few in the country, in the US, but it's a Japanese game. That's probably why you've never heard of it. But it's Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll be playing that. It's about a 14-minute run or so. Hopefully, if it's less, I get a PB. That would be nice. But it's just basically a Sonic game where you are using the trackball and you have one button to jump. That's it. And you go through about 7 stages at the end. And it's basically like, try to go as fast as you can, and insert a bunch of quarters to keep going if you fail. So you will see a bunch of deaths. That's okay. This game is really hard on trackball. If you see it on a keyboard, I actually did a race with it last weekend with Tempest Steve, who was mentoring me in that race. In the game, you know, you get to see the difference with the keyboard. The trackball is meant to take your quarters, so it's a little bit harder. All right. That being said, where did I put those quarters? Oh, here they are, on the button. Let's load it up. All right. Real quick, I'll let first person in the chat decide between Ray the Flying Squirrel, Mighty the Armadillo, and Sonic the Hedgehog. I know you guys have totally heard of Ray and Mighty. They were in Sonic Mania Plus, but they didn't really exist for a long time except in this game. So first person in the chat to say Mighty Sonic or Ray, and that's who I'll be. And then we'll get going. I know there's a little bit of delay from where I'm talking and looking. And again, it's just a Sonic baby that it is. Here we go. All right. So we start off. This is basically Dr. Robotnik's crazy island of torture. he's hauling us away. This is also a workout game on this, so get ready to see that. All right, so we're starting off. We're just going to do a little attack, and then we're going to get to go through the door. There we go. All right, and immediately control is taken away from us again. And we're getting thrown up into the air for some reason. It's just a wacky game. All right, and control's coming back to me here. And we gotta race the lava. You can see why I call this a workout game. Alright. A lot of little times where you lose control of your character. It's something funny. Okay, here we go. Alright. Couple jumps. Ooh, got a little hot butt there. Spicy butt. So on keyboard, there's a couple things you can do to skip areas, but with the trackball, you don't have the precision. So, you know, you can't just hold the right key on a trackball. So it is a little harder on this, but this is a really fun, weird game. All right, there's the end of the first one. Oh, and that's a gold split too. Sweet. I'll take it. So, you know, most of the keyboard players are in the 12-minute range. I'm just above 14 minutes on what I'm doing. So 14:22 is my PB. See if we can beat that today. And I'll be sure to post pictures of this cab in Alex's Discord, so if you're in the Nissan Discord, you'll get to see some pictures of my cab and what's going on in the back. I used it's not an original idea, I used a YouTube video that walked through the whole process, but it has a lot of custom parts that I had to order and install, and had to find the right had to find the right monitor and Dell tower on eBay about 4 or 5 years ago. But I just got like the cheapest arcade one up I could find, which was at the time, which was Street Fighter at the time. So you can still find some of these on sale. They're still around, but basically, the only part that's still part of the original arcade is just the shell itself, really. I've also got it on a couple stilts, because I'm 6'6", so I need it to be a little taller. Alright, let's get up. This is the hard part. This is the quarter eating part. Can we get up the hill? Gotta run up that hill. Alright, that was pretty good. Again, it's really tougher on the trackball than the keyboard. Oops. I want to stay to this side. Wait for this. Okay, now we can go fast again. We're gonna hop over some stuff. And then we gotta turn this way and go upfield here, and then we're gonna be done. Alright, another gold split. Cool, alright. It's a good day. Kate Bush the Hedgehog, yeah. 7 levels. The way this game works is if you had infinite quarters, you'd win the game eventually, because the game pushes you forward. We don't want the game to ever push us forward, otherwise what's the point of the speedrun? Robotnik got his, he has a Sega branded TV there. This is one of the example stages where it's actually nicer to be on a trackball. It's much easier for me to go diagonally down or up than it is on the, oh, there's a trap. Diagonally up than it is on a keyboard. But it's not as many. Get out of there. Can we get out of there? There, we got out of there. Okay. Whew. Watch out for this guy. This is a really fun game, though. One of the weird things, though, is that I can't practice it very long because I get too tired. It is a workout. I mean, 7 levels of doing this. Oops. 7 levels of doing this, you get tired real quick. You'll see a couple times I'll shift my hands around, not always using my right. I'm right-handed, but I'm not always going to use my right hand. Sometimes the left hand is better to be able to use the jump button. You'll see later when we get to the water stage that being able to use my other hand is going to come in handy. Come in handy, get it? Okay. Oh, go faster, Sonic. Okay. I'm already feeling the burn a little bit on my. There we go. Skip that. Skip it. Skip it. Yes. Feeling the burn on my forearms a little bit. Come on, get up there, Sonic. There we go. Come on down. Come on down. Alright. Alright. Another little gold. So we're on a good. This is a good one. You only use. Yeah, okay, Neil. Alex, I'm not going to read that one. Whew. Forearms are burning. But this, it took a lot of time to calibrate this trackball. This is still running MAME, so it's still an emulator. It's close to real arcade as I can get. I mentioned during Godzilla that I'm going to Chicago next month for G-Fest, and I am going to stop at Galloping Ghost, which is a huge warehouse-style arcade, and they have this cabinet. And so I'm hoping to kind of be the first person to put the solo game on the. Oh, it squished me. Trying to be the first person to put it on the leaderboards from an actual cabinet. So this has just been practice for like the real thing next month, a couple weeks. I'm excited to do that. Okay, we're gonna go up. Oh, too close. It's okay. We've got infinite quarters for a reason. I'm gonna take a couple hits, and that's okay because it's gonna save us time. then avoiding them later. Okay. Alright. Nice. Really good. This is a solid run right now. So yeah, so I'm gonna go do play the real one and see how close I've calibrated my cabinet to the real one, because you have to use MAME to calibrate. This is basically a mouse, the ball, trackball. Whew, works like a mouse, and you've got to calibrate it just right with the sensitivity so that the roll actually happens. And I don't think it's perfect. It lets me play the game, but some of these hills I have issues on. I think maybe that's a calibration problem, but we'll see when I get to go to the real one. Wait for the second one and go. Okay. All right, good turn. Ready for another turn here. Oops. Did not get a good turn there. That's okay. Sonic, keep going. Whoop. And we want to stay on the left side up here for the first turn. Then we're going to switch to the middle after a couple jumps. And we have to be careful because there's a spot up here that, now we're going to go in the middle. There's a spot that I can get stuck and it's going to take a lot of time to get out of it. So I want to turn in about a second right there. There we go. Okay. Now we're coming to the only boss in the game. There is a boss skip you can do on keyboard. It's very hard to do on this because you can't line up right on the trackball. So I'm just trying to. There we go. That was a really good boss fight. That was a nice 20-second save from a PB. So we're on a really good track here. Whew, man. So yeah. Anyway, we got to calibrate it to MAME, just like a mouse sensitivity and the momentum, like when you spin it, how much momentum it takes. What I did is there's actually this arcade was at MagFest last year, and two guys did that for the co-op. So while there's nobody who put in a solo run, they did a co-op run on camera, and I was able to watch that run and see how it worked. And I just kept testing it for about 2 months, trying to match what they did. So like if I push the wheel a certain speed at a certain spot that I saw on the video, I could match that calibration. And so I think I got pretty close. I only lost the race with my mentor Tempest Steve by about a minute, so which is good considering I can't do some of the tricks that he could. This level is kind of free if you do it right. If you hug the bottom rail, you shouldn't get hit by anything unless you're just a little bit behind. Where I was a little bit behind in the beginning. So here we go with this. Yep, right on time. Now we can go over here, we get out of here. I will probably take a lot of deaths in this level. It's a very challenging spot. Okay, let's just go as fast as we can up this hill here. Try to avoid any of these water spouts. Oh, I thought I was far enough away. That's okay. Okay, here's a spot where I want to switch to my left side because I'm able to control the spin a little bit better if we go diagonally up. Whoop. Each time you fall, you lose. There we go. You lose half your life. So it's a pretty significant drop down of health. Get up there. Okay, just in time. Okay. Let's see. We'll wait for the next raft. Whoops. Oops. Oh, see, we're already dead. But we've got infinite quarters. Oh. Dang. It's really hard to get this landing. Oh. Oh, right there, right at the end. There we go. All right, that was a green one. We're about almost a minute ahead of the PB, so. Whew. Well, I had the cabinet already assembled, to be fair. I've had this for a few years. But I did, in a sense we could call it that because I had to calibrate it and get it to work. So that was more work and time than the actual run. So last level here, home stretch, let's get this PB. There are ways to hop over these things. Again, if that's a keyboard benefit. Really hard to time that with the trackball. I'm sure someone can do it. I mean, just I couldn't. Just because I can't doesn't mean anybody else can. I'm just the first one. Alright, now we're doing a speed run here. A true speed run. Here we go. True speed run. Got a couple of these to finish it off. I'm ready for the door here. There's a door. In the door. Good, good. Okay. A couple more trap levels. Okay, good, good. Whoops. Oh, get wrecked. Alright, that's fine. Alright, another speed run. Wouldn't be a marathon without real speed runs here. Put all you got into it, Jaws. Let's go. And the door coming up. There's the door. Alright, last little bit. So the way this game ends is you either win or you win less good. So Robotnik's going to set a 20-second timer. My arms are dead. I didn't practice this today either. My arms are tired. So he's going to put a 20-second timer. All we got to do is get down to the bottom in time and get through a door. If we do, we save about 4 seconds. If we don't, we fail, but we still beat the game. So that's fine. So I'm trying to get a finish for some free time here. We're going to go down and down and down and down. And there's going to be a door here in a minute. Can we do it? Nope. Ah, I don't think we're going to get it. We're not going to get it. Get in the door. Close the door. Get in the door. Yes, we did it. Woo! 13:27, 55-second PB. Woo! We did it. 13:20. Yeah, 55-second personal best. Crushed it. And you guys were here for that. 13:27. Woo! So if you get in that door just in time, it saved 5 seconds. You still finish the game. You just get a failure. Man. Ah, my arms are tired. So you can see why that's kind of hard to practice, right? Because you get, I can do about a little bit of practice on like some stage areas with save states, and I can do about 2 runs before I'm tired. The third run gets pretty bad. And you can definitely feel the, if you can hear my voice, I mean my breath. You know, the forearms, man, the forearms. I'm so stoked to get that 13-minute. That was like my big goal, was just to get sub 14. It doesn't get a lot better than that. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here. I'll be back again tomorrow for Earthbound Boogie Percent, where I get to sit down and chill and just relax for an hour. An RPG. But that's Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, sometimes they have that at MagFest. There's one in Galloping Ghost Arcade. We got Robotnik all upset. He's about to take a dive. Oh, bye. Bye, Robotnik. But yeah, that's Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, Japanese only release, a little bit in the US. Lots of people play that on the keyboard though, so it's totally fine. If you want to take it on, it's a short game. But alright, that's enough for me. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here for a PB. Thanks, Alex, again. And again, I'll see you all tomorrow for Earthbound. Good luck and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.